Hey guys, welcome, and good morning. Look, I've got my painting finished. It's back there. It's got a bunch of warblers or animals at the mangrove. So this morning I want to get on here real quick. I start my morning off by, fishing. I love fishing. And sometimes I get some of my best work from this area, but at least something random. But today is going to be about talking with God. All right. This idea, I could get down on my knees and pray, Jesus, God, will you do me this? Will you give me that? Will you take my pains away? Will you bring some pains to somebody else? I get that people are rebuking me from time to time. I said, you can only rebuke yourself, but in the Bible, it's about rebuking your brethren, stuff like that. And that's yourself. I'm sorry, but that's what it means. So the idea of talking with the Lord, let's see, one of my pet peeves is this Jonathan Kahn or any of these guys that say, I talk to God. And he's like, just go in. I don't know what to do. Or God, what should I do? Oh, well, just go in and wing it. This is what God says. Just go on to Jerusalem and just wing it, Well, I think they get this idea from Noah, that out of the blue, and that what it is, because in our Bible, on the physical side of it, in the Word, the part that everybody's made to believe in and stuff like that, Jesus, God, they just talk to you from nowhere, and they talk to you regular old conversation, and you need to wake up and get out of this land of your fathers, and so they hear this, they hear it, but the Bible tells us that the only way, says God is spirit. And the only way that someone can communicate with God is to be also in spirit and in truth. All right, so the reason why they say that is because truth is about going through the water. That's the second phase of this. But to come as a child, too, to become this child is to become going in spirit. And so you see that, when you go to church on Sunday and you're praying to God, none of it's going to him because you're not doing it from the inside. You're doing it from the outside. You're like the story that we just came from with Matthew, 24, right? Which is a 6. And where God goes down the list of things that you do, how you should do this, and how you should do alms, and how to pray by going and shutting that door to your closet and stuff like that. This is code. This is all information. This is what you have to do. God doesn't just talk to you. You have to listen to him. He says, I'm going to speak to you in language of old. I'm going to say things that you're not going to understand right off the bat. You're not. Because I speak in a language, in some kind of symbolic language. It doesn't just come to you in this. And the other part is that when how do these people talk to God when we are supposed to go through Jesus to get to God? And this Jewish guy doesn't talk much about Jesus, but he has to go through Jesus in order to get to God. But he's just talking, I talk to God all the time. This guy's connected. Hell no, he's not connected. And how is it that you believe he's connected? How is it? What is it? Because he went to school. He went to some place on school and he got connected to God that way. Well, from what I understand is you have to go within yourself. You have to release this child inside of you. And when you connect to God, then you got something going on. But it also tells us very clearly in this Bible that when we do connect with God and we bring mother on, we don't do the religious side of this Bible. We're past it. That's our works. We don't do that anymore. It's over with. And so these guys that still bark the Gospels and stuff like that. No, they're just as poor as the people that they are listening to or talking to. Just as poor. Because look, I've been connected to God for a while, and I don't tell you that I talk to God. I can pray and say, well, Lord, take away my pain, take away my problems, I go and meditate. I meditate now. There's none of that worshiping garbage going on, The Bible tells us we worship God in vain because we do not honor mother and father. And that means that we don't come to him in spirit. We're not connected. And that's 90-something% of the world, And so anyways, this idea of people talking to God and have the upper hand with God, and God tells them that, President Trump is the harbinger of whatever. This is goofy shit. These guys are selling books, making all kinds of money off of the folly and just having a great time because, this is a tough time. It's tough all the time. It's always been tough. My father would tell me, it's always been like this. It's always been this, And in church you say, it's never been settled. Ever since it began, it's always been in some kind of a turmoil, So, they got that to bank on. They got the folly to bank on because it's going to take forever. Jesus ain't going to come in the air. He's going to come in your mind. There's not another Jesus out there. There's none of that. There's like billions and billions of Jesuses just waiting to understand how it is to bring themselves to life. But not one of them will be able to tell you what went on when you did this, because when we take off our skin, we can't hear and talk and listen and all that business. We don't got it. We just don't have it. So we don't know what the hell goes on the inside of us. The Bible tells us that too. But no, we got to have that idea that I can talk to God if I want, but it's a one-sided thing. It's a one-sided thing. The way the works is that we sit down. The only way to purge yourself of being this evil person or get rid of this wicked mind, this unclean spirit, it's just someone that's not connected to God. And so what he does, what do? We get this, the Star of David. We already know that that's you and me. But the bottom part of the star is a delta sign. This is our word up. This is what we want up. We're looking to get connected to God. And then we have an opposite side of that coming down. Which way is that? Like this? Like that? And what that is that's your answer. If you get an answer. But that's the Star of David. And it has to do with connecting to God. You put your initial up, and if you're lucky, you'll get it down. And when you put them together, then it's you and me. That's the Star of David. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. There's no talking to God. There's no chatting. He's not going to come down and say, hey, kid, what's going on? Get a little business. This side of God is invisible. And so I tell people and used to tell them all the time that if something came up and whispered in your ear, you said it with God. I'm going to tell you God doesn't have a pair of lips. He doesn't necessarily give a damn about the skin side of us. He doesn't it's not allowed. He doesn't like it. That thing is filthy and dirty, But he will take it once he's connected with you, because he raises a slower mind, takes you out of the hell business, and now you can hang out with him. But you still can't tell what he's talking about. You don't know any of that. All you do is you just, you do what you feel after that, I guess. That's what I do. I've done what I feel. You can come down here and say, you better stop that bad language. I hear that from people all around out here, but God ain't said to me yet, because they can't talk to us. But if something does touch you or goes across your face, stuff like that, better believe that it's going to be Father. It's going to be devil, all right? That's the physical side of God, the physical side. So if you want something that's got lips, you want to listen to somebody tell you some shit, Open your ear and listen to Lucifer, and he'll take you on a nice trip. But when you open your ears to God, you'll know nothing about it. Nothing at all. Psst, zip, zing, nothing. All right? We know this. This is the way, because the Bible tells us this. Even Jesus is not a physical thing. Jesus is always in the midst. This is where he shows up. He shows up inside of us. We don't get a chance to see this place that's inside of us because we go into meditation and close our eyes. And that's how it works. The thieves, these people that come in the night, they come and get you while you're not looking. And when you're not looking means your eyes are closed or you've turned away, or in some way you're just not looking, so it comes upon you then. That's the only time. You don't even know that. It just comes to you. Wow. Some crazy shit. But anyways, we all are down here on our own. And without God, until we connect with them, and then when we do connect with them, we're not talking to the guy or him or her. We just use this as our counsel now. And every time you think, this is where you get your help from. You're not talking directly to God, but let's say like, hey, I want to go and do this. What am I going to do? How I'm going to do it? You make up your own mind. But you have this great counsel in there, and there's a good chance that no matter what you say and what you do, it's going to be a good thing. All right? Now, so I would like to think, that Jonathan Cahn, I would love to believe in some of these religious people out here as being real prophets of God. But because they opened their mouth and continue to trespass against God, and are invited to the UN, invited this, they are like top dogs and everything, and to find out that they're just worthless prophets that just, I could be that too. I could do this, but no one's believe me because I'm telling them the truth. They want more dogma. They want more, blood and guts. They need it. They need it. They can't live without it. It's crazy shit. Anyways, we're raised above that business. Raised above the folly. Anyways, I thought you'd get something out of this, so that, unless you're beating the door down, trying to get God and Jesus to talk to you, they just won't. They can't. They don't have lips. All right, I'll check you later.